Hey, boys.
Gentlemen,
Fellas?
how are you?
Oh, it's
Like
okay.
fucking Christmas.
Feels like
This is the most
Christmas.
excited I've seen Bill since he got those paternity tests saying he was not the father.
Your audio sounds like shit.
Yeah, you sound like shit.
Oh, whatever. Hold on.
This is incredible. This is the best thing I've seen the Patriots do outside of winning Super Bowls. Like, it's unheard of. Like, I'm so excited about this. Like, Cam's still a quarterback. It sucks, but I'm still fucking. Oof. I've been rock hard for a day and a half.
Nice.
Might have to call a doctor.
Have you tried to relieve it or you just let it ride?
Ooh, no, I relieved it a couple times today.
Gave it the old waistband tuck. Had to go out to the store.
Something like that.
Hey man, you might be relieving more than just you.
Dude. Hey, Pat Chung just tweeted out like 10 minutes ago. Big things are happening. Stay tuned, please.
Well, that's about the cocaine.
That's cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured, but please. I'll be glad to jerk Bill off if they get Deshaun Watson. That'll just cap off the boner train. Just keep it rolling. I will.
I don't know why in my
21,
head,
the year that Bill jerks off Bill Belichick and gets a butthole tattoo. What a year.
Butthole tattoos looking less and less likely by the game.
well, that's another story for another day. I just can't get out of my head the image of Bill using oven mitts to jerk off Bill Belichick. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but that's how it has to
I
happen
can see
now.
you like Nike staring at Bill while he's doing it too.
Yeah, I can't look Bill in the eyes. I'm just gonna look the dog in the eyes.
Well, bring your peanut butter.
Gross.
He has a healthy supply with Chuck.
You guys are. That's a girl thing, not a guy thing. You fucking
Damn it.
morons.
534. The sun's out on Bill and he's just throwing out the bad words already.
Yeah. It's daylight savings, man. The sun's out. You can't be throwing out beeps when the sun's out.
Yeah.
I think that's a rule.
Since when? The only rule I have is I don't eat Domino's when the lights out. When it's light out. Other than that, all things
Everything's
go.
fair game.
Never eat
Including-
Domino's tastes better when it's dark out. Prove me wrong.
Well, yeah. Even I
Not
think,
wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I think after midnight. I think it has to be after midnight.
Yeah. Late night. If I get a pizza delivered to me at 2 a.m., that's something I don't want to eat at when it's light out. It has to be eaten in the middle of the
true.
night.
Thin crust and cheesy bread. Lived on that.
Love the cheesy bread.
Yeah, lived on it.
Eastern Ave, that was at my house all the time because of you and Nubs.
We'd scale the building, order Domino's, and
Mm-hmm.
That was
Sleep
the
in your
worst.
couch.
That was the worst apartment ever. The living room.
Says you.
Yeah, I lived there too.
I enjoyed it. It was fine.
I enjoyed
Look, we got a lot to get into. Let's get into it. This is the Silver Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, boys. Ray, you don't celebrate that, right? Because you're French?
Yeah, I don't like the
Okay.
Irish.
Cool, good. All right, welcome to the show. If we weren't doing this before, we record the day before that it's released. So it's St. Patrick's Day as you're listening to this. If we were to record the day of on the shows, what do you think the percentage of Bill having his eyes open at this point and being able to do the show?
0.2.
I'm not drinking on St. Patrick's Day. I have a prior engagement to go to tomorrow night, and I'm not going to be too shit-faced for that. So I know.
Okay.
Oh shit! I'm supposed to go to breakfast at 6 a.m. All right, I changed that thought. I'm going to breakfast tomorrow at 6 a.m. So
We'll get hourly updates from you tomorrow, Bill. I'm sure of it.
the last time I went to the Shaskeen at 6 a.m. for breakfast, they kicked us out at 10:30 after our like 8th or 9th Irish car bomb. We were done. It was over. We were screaming in the middle of the bar, and Josh was like, "Dude, it's 10:30. You guys got to go." Took a nice power nap, and I was ready to go for later on that night.
There you go. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And if you can't make it to breakfast with Bill, grab yourself some White Birch Brewing, our favorite beers out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
I'm sure they'll be cranking down there in Nashua for St. Patty's Day. Maybe they'll even have some of that bullshit green beer you can find. Either way, head on down to the tap room. If you see it in the stores, pick yourself up a 4-pack or a 6-pack. Tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. All right. Well, this is news to no one. The Patriots have gone absolutely berserk in free agency. Over $250 million of contracts shelled out in the first 36 hours. 135 million of it up until now guaranteed. A lot of the details of the reports are just coming out or have not come out yet. But that's the latest news I have as we sit here at 5:30 on Tuesday. Obviously, today started out with a bang. Fucking Hunter Henry coming in this morning. Didn't see that coming. 3 years, 37.5 million, 25 guaranteed after a day where we were all, more than surprised, more than happy with all their signings. Let's just run through them. And and then I want your instant reaction of how it has all gone down. So not counting the Cam Newton or Justin Bethel contracts that came in before the tampering period. The first one to land was Janu Smith, 4 years, 50 million, 31 guaranteed. That's right around the same time. Devin Godchow out of Miami. The other big one, Matt Judon out of Baltimore, 4 years, 56 million, 32 million guaranteed. Jalen Mills from Philadelphia, Dietrich Wise, they re-signed to a bigger deal than I thought he was going to get, 10 million guaranteed on a 4-year deal.
Which that's pretty typical. I mean, they're I don't mean to cut you off, but they're kind of paying for projection, like potential there. I mean, he had a good season this year, but $10 million spread out over 4 years.
I mean, they're paying. Carl Davis,
it's a
they
depth
didn't even
chart,
heard of him. They signed him last year. He got hurt, but that's a defensive tackle. Depth. Nelson Aguilar was another big one.
That ruined my
that
bonus.
could be debated. 2 years, 26 million. It's 11 million base. I don't know if the guarantee has come out on that. Kendrick Bourne, another wide receiver at San Francisco. Henry Anderson out of the Jets went under the radar late on Monday night. And then again, obviously, Tuesday morning starts off with a bang, Hunter Henry. It's been a little bit quiet since then, but we have had reports out of the most important one. Jay Glazer said, they're not done yet. I like what's coming. And then apparently we had Cocaine Chung saying that big things are also coming down the pipeline. Everyone is assuming that it's a quarterback. And if it is, bonanza, Super Bowl is on.
I got two more things real quick. Jacoby Brissett just signed in Miami, and Marvin Jones is going to fucking Jacksonville 2 for 14.5. 9.2 fully guaranteed. That's
I have something else as well. I have something. The 49ers were in on Andy Dalton before he signed with the Bears. So, interesting.
And
okay, I have thoughts on all that, but let me just get your Ray. Let me get your instant reactions. We know Bill's been hard for a day and a half. We know you can't get hard. So what have the what have the feelings
I don't
been?
know why that's still so funny after 20 years.
What have the feelings been after seeing everything? I mean, I know that you're very, very excited. As hands down the biggest homer of the group that's been saying Deshaun Watson's coming to the Patriots, just hoping for that to happen for 6 months. I have to imagine this has been the happiest day you've had in a very long time.
It has been, actually, yeah. But doesn't this look like a turnaround year? I mean, even if Cam is the quarterback of this team, you're still going to be happy with what they've done and put on this field. Spent in free agency.
Cam's still your quarterback. I mean, that's
as of right now. As of right now.
Right now, I mean, I just read a tweet earlier by Rappaport. The Patriots have enough cap space to absorb the whole Deshaun Watson deal and then add some.
Stop. Oh.
So, I mean, you want to talk about changing. I mean, you went 7-9 last year with a shit roster and Cam Newton starting 15 games, right? So, I mean, you have a shit ton of holes to fill. You had to go out and make the move. You didn't wait till the market. You didn't wait till the market kind of set itself. You dictated the market. I mean, if you think about the last, I don't know, going back to 2007, name the big day one starters they have: Adalius Thomas, Revis, and Gilmore. That's it. And they've signed in the first 2 days of free agency, basically signed 3 of the top free agents on the market. Like, this never happens, and you set yourself up this year with the cap space. Last year, again, you went 7-9. You didn't spend. You had no money to spend. You were kind of up against the cap. This year, and I like the deals that are coming through, man. You're seeing them right now. If you look at the guaranteed money, 2-3 year deals. I was reading a report today that the 2023 cap could be upwards of $230 million. It's $180 million right now. So Belichick's already planning ahead right now. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be 100% 230, but it's going to go up. You had $60 million going into this year. It was the first time the cap went down in 10 years, right? Usually cap goes up every single year. So you see the Patriots kind of sitting around waiting. Usually they're in the middle of the pack. This year you were number 2, number 3 going in, and you had too many holes in this roster to do it. And I'm glad you just saw him being aggressive. He's not waiting again because Bourne.
Right, Ramballs. Hold on a sec, because you're going through pretty much the entire fucking email in one sentence. So the big thing roaming
I didn't
around.
read the email. Sorry.
No shit.
Weird.
So the big thing going around the Patriots signing and everything that they're doing is obviously it is completely different, like you've just said, Bill, from what they've done before. My question is, and I don't know if it necessarily matters. I think it does, because I'm also looking at this in terms of what it means for the future of the Patriots. But was this something that they set up? Now, I let me give you my answer. I think that they went into last season and said, we don't have a roster. We could maybe plug a couple holes here and there, but it's COVID. We don't know what the money's going to look like. We have these guys opting out. Brady's gone. I know that the cap is crap, but teams do come up with their dead money you can't do anything with. Patriots were in that situation last year. So can a little bit of credit be given to them that they forecasted this a little bit and gave them and said, look, let's fight our way through 2020. And in 2021, we're going to have enough money and enough flexibility to go do pretty much whatever we want to do. And if things shake out the way we think they're going to, not a lot of teams are going to be in that position like us. And that's what's happened. I mean, the Jags and the Jets had more cap space than them, and the Jags have made some deals, yeah, but the Patriots have owned fucking free agency. And like you said, they didn't wait for the Hunter Henrys and Geno Smiths to go out there and find deals with everybody else. They just went out and paid them probably what they're worth at the top of the market and didn't really give a shit about getting the best deal like we've seen in the past. And that's different. And the why is, yeah, because they need to, because the roster sucks, but I don't even know if that matters. I don't know if that matters at this point in time. Does that, I don't know. I ask you, does it matter why, or does it just matter that this is where they are now and this is what it looks like moving forward?
I mean, matters what it is now and matters what it's going forward. That's what I think, because they addressed the issue. They saw Brady hoist that 7th trophy. They didn't like it. Bill didn't like it. They didn't like going 7-9. He wants to beat Shula. Bill talks about it all the time, how he wants to beat Shula's record for coaching victories. You're not going to do it with 7-9 records. You're going to be coaching until you're fucking 85 years old. So he wants to win and get this over with and get another Lombardi trophy under his belt.
I just think, again, it was out of need. I mean, last year you could kind of see the market. Obviously, you can't really predict COVID, but I mean, there was rumors, last offseason that the cap was going to go down this year. There was no fans. You think about it, we're a year into this now, right? It was basically about a year since everything started shutting down. So I mean, yeah, you could see him forecasting that. You had cap problems. You let everybody walk out. I mean, you signed Bo Allen and a couple other bit parts, Justin Bethel and a couple other guys. And then you basically just relied on players through the draft and then your waiver wire. So, he kind of sat back. We were always questioning why you have all this cap space, because after these guys opted out, you had upwards of close $27-28 million that you could have went out and spent. I get it. There was no guys to spend money on, but I mean, yeah, sit back and watch. If you knew the cap was going, good on you. It sucks that you went 7-9, but good on you to wait. And again, you had to spend. Go back in 2001. You added 23 guys between the 2000 and 2001 season. You spent $2.5 million on guaranteed money. Think about that on 23 players.
And this year you're at 135 million. So what do the contracts mean? So give me your what's the best one? What do you like which signing do you like the most at this point in time?
I honestly, it's twofold with the tight ends. I think that's been the biggest need. I think I texted you guys earlier. You had 19 red zone targets in the last 2 years since Gronk's left. And I don't even think even when Gronk healthy, you didn't have a lot of red zone targets to the tight end back then in 2018. You had a big need. You're 28th or 27th to 28th in red zone offense last year. You were too predictable with Cam running the ball. Now you have two legitimate threats on offense. Cam moved the ball until the red zone. They couldn't score touchdowns. Field goals. Now you get two tight ends that can catch the football. Hunter Henry had 4 touchdowns last year. Jonnu Smith had 8. I expect those numbers to kind of be the same again, because red zone offense, I think this is where it's designed for. So 1A to 1B is Henry and Jonnu Smith.
You've completely revamped your offense. we can talk about whether it was an overpayment for Nelson Aguilar. Diana Rossini had a tweet. Diana Rossini from ESPN, quote, just spoke to a free agent wide receiver to find out what's going on with all the wide receivers still unsigned. He said, quote, the wide receiver market is really bad right now. Tell that to Nelson Aguilar because that dude just got paid. But to your point, Bill, I think the Patriots targeted their guys, determined what their markets were going to be. And this is something that we should give the Patriots credit for. They're pretty good at determining guys' markets. They're pretty good at understanding what they're going to pay for. Now, in the past, they haven't been aggressive and spend money like this before, but, they've nailed the Wes Welkers of the world. They even kind of fucking nailed Tom Brady, honestly, if you want to believe the reports that
Even
there wasn't a lot of suitors out there. They've let Edelman walk. They let Dante Hightower walk in free agency, got him back. So they're good at this. And I think that they went out and identified it. And, the kid from San Francisco, Bourne, he's getting pennies, basically, if you look at that deal.
What's it, like $4 million?
Yeah, but it's like 1.5 guaranteed or something crazy. Aguilar's might be a different story.
Yeah, those details haven't came out yet.
But regardless, my point is, Ray, your offense is basically look, your pass catchers go Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Nelson Aguilar. So I think people make the mistake of looking at your wide receiver core saying you need a number one wideout. You got him. His name's Hunter Henry. And that's how the Patriots are going to play ball. And then whoever else their pass catching back is, which James White is rumored to be gone. Rex Burkhead doesn't have a leg anymore. So they got to figure a couple more spots for sure. But I think, I'm not going to fall. If you do this, I'm going to be pissed. I'm not going to fall into the trap of maybe Cam Newton could be okay because they've revamped the offense, but it's completely different. They should be good, not just better. They should be good with these new guys they've brought in.
No, I'm excited to see what they do with Jonnu Smith because Belichick last year when they played Tennessee praised him heavily. And it's almost like an Aaron Hernandez type role he's going to be taking. I think he's going to play a lot, some slot. He's a great blocking tight end. He's going to move all around the back.
How many murders does it include?
0, hopefully.
Oh,
hopefully
well,
allegedly.
But yeah, hopefully he plays that type of role.
Hold on, does suicide count as murder?
No, that's why it has a different word, Bill. Sorry, Ray. Continue.
No worries, but yeah, Hunter Henry's going to be like the Gronk type of player, and then when Deshaun Watson's throwing him back in the end zone, having protection all day, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful sight, baby.
Well,
look at that bad wing. He greased it up already.
Look at that thing go. Yeah, I know we're kind of burying the lead here about the quarterbacks, but we're going to continue to do that because I have a couple more things that I want to get into. I want to talk about the idea of splurging in free agency and winning day one of free agency and how that has not necessarily been a good thing in the NFL. So, Bill, if you had
I'm looking at the email. Shut up.
Fucking asshole. So in here, the past 5 seasons. Is that me?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. What are you talking about?
I have no idea what's going on. Sorry. Oh, it's stupid fucking Bert Breer talking to my computer.
Oh, nice.
Let me try and get this back. Yeah, I was talking to him earlier. No. So the past 5 years, this is what it looks like. In 2018, you had the Jets spent $101 million. They missed the playoffs. Chicago had $102 million. They lost the wild card. In 2016, you had the Giants spend $107 million. They lost in the wild card round. The Jets in 2019, $131 million, missed playoffs. In Miami last year, $147, barely missed the playoffs, but we're a good team. The years prior to that, these are the ones that we need to pay attention to. Chicago in 2017 was a 5-11 team. They spent $100 million in free agency. They made the playoffs. The Giants in 2015 were 6-10. They spent $107 million. The next year, they made the playoffs. Miami was 5-11. They spent $147 million. They missed the playoffs last year, but we all know that they were a pretty decent team down there. So now you got the Patriots topping all of that at like whatever they're at this point, $250 million or something. And the point I'm trying to make, if you take the shitbag Jets out of that, spending money the next year gives you immediate results. When you bring talent onto your team, you get immediate results in the NFL. We just know that it hasn't resulted in Super Bowls, but I think the Patriots have skewed a lot of those numbers because they win a lot of fucking Super Bowls in the past 20 years. But also I don't look at it as you're a shitty team that is bringing in talent to not be a shitty team anymore. I look at it as you're
Bingo.
the pinnacle of a sports franchise that has had a couple down years, and now this is a big jolt to your system, a big jump start into your program to make up for the bad drafts that you've had and the bad signings you've had the last couple of years. And it gives you a 2 or 3 year window to fill that back in. Because like Bill said, all of these deals, they're all front loaded with real money. They're all basically 2, maybe 3 year deals that you can get out on low dead cap hits in year 3 or year 4, year 5, or whatever it is. So I don't know if that trend of the splurge on day one, the winner of free agency day one, necessarily, you would have to think if one team's going to buck that trend, it's going to be Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And I believe that it will be. I believe that it will be. And also, the last thing I'll say in this, and I'll throw it over to you. I don't think these signings are the Ndamukong Suhs or the big wide receivers or the guy that the Jaguars signed. Shaq, the cornerback out of Seattle.
Oh, Shaquille Griffin. Shaq Griffin.
He just signed a big $29 million guaranteed in Jacksonville.
$45 million, 3
Like,
years.
is that building a team for Jacksonville? Are they a cornerback away from being successful? I don't think so. The Patriots targeted what positions work for them, who's the best at them, and they went and got him. Even a guy like Jalen Mills. You know that he's going to be probably an impact player on the Patriots in the secondary because of what Bill can do. In Judon is going to be, I think, the perfect guy in that Van Noy Ninkovich role that they've been missing the last couple of years. So,
and watch Winovich be an impact player now because all the attention is going to go to that side, and he's going to have a breakout year this year.
Well, that's the other thing.
These guys are going to, they're not going to go up the stats. They're not going to go up the stat sheet. You're not going to see it on the stat sheet. They're all going to do these things that Bill likes to have. And like, oh, you're going to take a double team so Winovich can come through, or the safety help so Mills can actually cover. I don't know. You're just going to see like these small things happen that aren't going to go on the stat sheet, but it's going to be big into this organization to help them win games.
Well, what it does is it knocks everybody down on the depth chart. You shouldn't have Jacoby Myers as your number one wide receiver. You shouldn't have Chase Winovich as your number one DN. Josh Uche should not be starting for you because they're not good enough yet. They don't know how to do it. So Asiasi and Dalton Keene clearly were not.
What does that say about them?
We're not NFL quarterbacks.
Picks.
It says they weren't ready. It says they weren't ready. And the Patriots know that. They redshirt their rookies. They don't let their rookies play. And last year we saw why, because most rookies kind of fucking suck. So especially in a Patriot system that is known to be complicated. Now we can give them crap for that or not. But my point is they have identified guys to bring into those positions. If you look at those positions, they have young guys with talent in all of them, really. Safety, tight end, defensive line, linebacker. They have young guys that they have drafted that they tried to rely on that didn't work that can now build up underneath these free agents that they just brought in. And that's kind of what I expect the plan would be. Now you're immediately competitive, but you've also given yourself 2 or 3 years to hopefully draft better and hopefully let the young players on the team currently actually develop underneath some guys that are professional NFL players while not fucking yourself over in the next 3 to 5 years with big backloaded high-end cap contracts.
Yeah, and again, you like going to the spending. I mean, I like the fact that Bill just went out and got his guys right away. I mean, if you look at a lot of the signings, I mean, even what Gadu or whatever his name is, Anderson or Henderson, the guy from the Jets, Mills, all these guys are more, those are guys I feel like Bill signs week 2, week 3 in a free agency. I like the fact that he just saw the guys that he wants, the guys that are going to help this team right now, and he went out and got them. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah, Rich, you're right. With Tom Brady does kind of mask a lot of problems, and he wins a shit ton of Super Bowls. I kind of see it as the way he was drafting. If you compare free agency this year to the way he's drafted, I mean, you look at him overreaching guys, second round, Richards is one. You saw him take it. Ross Dowling went top of the first round. Second round, I should say. You see him reach, and you can kind of compare it to that. He targeted his guys, and he went out and got them. He didn't give these guys any other chance to drive up the market. He just said, these are my guys. I'm going to go get them. And a good thing, too, and I think one thing we forgot to talk about, I mean, we've said once Tom leaves, does Bill have pull? Well, got some pretty good pull here now, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
I would say yes, not to interrupt you, but I think it's the purse that's doing a lot of talking. The only thing that I would say to combat that is the Jets and Jaguars have that much money. Were they in on these guys? That they must have called Hunter Henry, So look, if I'm Hunter Henry, I want to play for the Patriots over the shitbag Jags too,
Urban Meyer, but
or the Jets. But both those, you're getting Trevor Lawrence down in Jacksonville. They are signing some guys. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that Bill Belichick's sales pitch was early in the offseason and aggressive, especially to those tight ends. And I would imagine Judon, because that's the other big name and he said, quote, "They picked me." The question was phrased to him, "What made you pick the Patriots?" He said, "I didn't. They picked me." So clearly they went after him early and said, "Look, we're going to pay you top dollar. We want you on the Patriots." And
that Bourne kid didn't want to leave San Francisco. He wanted to stay in San Francisco and was ready to take a hometown discount. And he came to New England. And like you said, his deal is kind of like pennies on the dollar. He's not getting that much money.
Yeah, I mean
so maybe that is pull. Bill might have that pullback,
Yeah, and for Bourne, I mean, you look at Bourne too. I mean, think of the depth chart in New England compared to San Francisco. You know what I mean? So I mean that's a big pull right there. And again, it is Bill overpaying guys. I mean, Judon is only sixth in, I guess he linebacker, defensive end. He's in that kind of Chandler Jones role, the hybrid role. He's only sixth. So it's not like he set the market with Judon, which I like. You know what I mean? He's not Chandler Jones or even Fowler, all these guys that got paid in the last couple of years. He's not that. So, I mean, coming in at the sixth highest linebacker position as like an edge rusher, whatever you want to really call him, that hybrid role, depending on what the Patriots are running for a defense, I'm all for it. I mean, again, you set the market this year and you got the guys you want. Yeah, they might have overpaid. I think Aguilar's an overpayment for sure, but we're still waiting for the guaranteed money on that deal, but good. You had to do it this year. You have no Tom Brady to rely on anymore. You can get these guys to take way less money because you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Coming off 7-9 season, you don't have that fucking pull anymore. So it's good that he's spending money. He's opening up that fucking piggy bank and let's go. We need it.
Yeah. All right. So elephant in the room, what's the ceiling on this roster with Cam Newton at quarterback?
Ooh. 10-6. I just think
11-5 AFC East champs.
10-6. I think the guys you added
going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, 10-6. I think you're a wild card. I don't think you're better than Buffalo. And if you think about it, I'll give you this analogy. Buffalo right now would be what Patriots had in Tom Brady, and I'm not comparing the two quarterbacks. And when Buffalo had J.P. Losman, think about that. Patriots Brady, Buffalo had Losman, right? So we're Josh Allen, who looks disgusting. He had almost 50 touchdowns combined, rushing and throwing last year. Cam Newton had 20. So, I mean, that's where we are. The talent on Buffalo is better. They're fighting for a wild card right now, unless you make a change at quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Belichick is a big time difference maker in that run.
Can I just stop you real quick?
Go ahead.
What if Cam Newton is the reason why Deshaun Watson agrees to trade and come here? Would that change everything you've ever said bad about Cam Newton?
Yeah, I'll give him a hand job too.
What?
All right, we have it on record. We got it on record.
Is this
if Cam Newton's the reason Deshaun's like, yeah, me and Cam are good friends, then
why the fuck would that? Why would that be anything? Is that informed speculation? You read that somewhere?
No, I'm just saying.
Why would Cam Newton want Deshaun Watson to come to be his backup? Why would Deshaun Watson come to hang out with Cam Newton in the quarterback room?
Look at those hats.
No. In terms of their ceiling, don't worry, Bill. You won't be skiing with Bill Belichick and Cam Newton this year. Trust me.
I love skiing.
That won't be a thing.
In terms of
the ceiling, if you looked at these high-end buyers on the free agent market we just listed, each one of them, Chicago, the Giants, Miami, they all improved their record by 4 or 5 games the year after. So if you do that for the Patriots, you're at a 12-win team. At 12 wins, you're fighting for the division, not the wild card. But I put the ceiling at the wild card in the playoffs because if Cam Newton's your quarterback, he's not the difference maker. If you need him to get a drive at the end of a game, I don't think he can do it. If you need to make him throw, I don't think he can do it. That's what separates him. That's why you have 6 Super Bowls and the Steelers have 2, because you have Tom Brady and they have Ben Roethlisberger. That's the difference maker right there. That's why Tom Brady is Tom Brady and Cam Newton is Cam Newton. So, yeah, I think that you can be very, very, very competitive in the regular season, but your quarterback has to push you over the edge, and you don't have the guy. You flat out don't have the guy. But could you? Let's do some rumor mongering. I see you both looking at your phones. That's because you don't want to pay attention to me. I feel like fucking big titty going over here. No one's
man,
looking.
I've always
no one's
said I
looking
wanna-
at the
Still
goddamn-
Langevin.
I asked her to the prom one year, and I told her I've always said I'd like to sit on the ground and just have her beat the shit out of me with those hanging. She wouldn't even have to bend over. Those things fucking hit the ground. Just beat
Glad
me
I
in the
got
face
your
with them.
attention. So the
We need to call in for that one because I know someone that would love to talk for a half hour.
Who?
G baby.
the speculation after Jay Glazer put out that tweet that the Patriots are not done, I like what I'm seeing, went directly to Deshaun Watson. It had a quick blurb of Jimmy Garoppolo, and then it went, fuck that. Let's go big. Deshaun Watson. And now Tyrod Taylor signs for, what did you say, $12.5 million?
Yeah, one for 12.5, up to 12.5. So it guarantees probably what you're seeing in Cam Newton, Andy Dalton, all signed for the same thing.
Okay.
And let's go.
Andy Dalton going to the Bears.
The Bears.
I would say eliminates the Bears from being in the Jimmy G conversation. You start talking about teams that need quarterbacks and quarterbacks that would be an upgrade and on the Patriots' radar to make a big splash at that position. For me, it's Jimmy G, and I guess if you want to throw Deshaun Watson in there, now that we're doing it, those are the two. And if the Bears have their quarterback, and now the putrid Houston Texans have a guy in Tyrod Taylor that could be a starting quarterback, I don't know. These might be some dominoes that are falling into place.
The Bears went all in on Russ Wilson.
Shut down.
Yeah. Basically, Seattle said we're not trading him, but Bears did make a big time push before they signed Andy Dalton. So that's where their head's at, is trying to get Russ Wilson.
Why wouldn't you try to get Deshaun Watson? He wants legit. The Bears are so fucking stupid. Like, Watson wants out. Russell Wilson has never came out and said, trade me. Deshaun Watson's never stepping foot in Houston's building again. Like, he wants out. You think the Bears would make that move instead?
Maybe they know Belichick has Easterby by the little gonads over there. And
friends of Belichick around the league. Felger and Matt said it the last couple of days. He's doing those deals, and him and
I mean, we said when Nick Caserio went there, if his first major deal is giving Bill Belichick Deshaun Watson on a handshake deal, woof, that's a hard way to start a career. But
what about a docking deal?
Who's the one that's uncircumcised?
I don't know. Sorry, Belichick. Probably Belichick. He's old.
Yeah, he's old. He's gonna be 69 this year. Nice.
Doesn't the Navy make you get circumcised, right?
No, I don't know. I didn't get to go.
Got it. You didn't get that far. Well, it's a thing. Hey, here's the good thing. We're excited. Once we were just they signed Cam Newton, and it seemed like everything was just hell. There's nothing to look forward to. Now there's excitement. Now you should have a good team. I'm excited to watch football on Sundays. If Cam Newton is your quarterback, I will be less excited, and I think it will lead to a lot of frustration. But you'll certainly be better. And in most years, I would not believe the more is coming, but this certainly has bucked a lot of trends. They still got money. They've managed this early money thing pretty incredibly. And if Kraft is willing to spend, I think Belichick's going to spend to the limit. And I think they are. I think they're embarrassed. I didn't hear what he said.
We got one of them.
605.
That's not offensive, is it?
It's a blind beep. I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
We've never beeped that on the show before. Shalom.
Okay.
Just the way you used it was perfect.
That was more of an interruption because Ray laughs at everything. He's a really easy audience.
It's a straight tripping.
Can I throw a couple more? Can I throw a couple more?
Do video.
Can I throw a couple more things at you? We're gonna go Patriots heavy here. Still to sign, important signings here. David Andrews, heavily rumored to Miami. There were some scuttlebutt rumors that he did not like playing with Cam Newton. I don't think it's a racist thing, but he is from Georgia, so who knows? I just think he thought Cam Newton sucked. So the fact that Cam Newton is their quarterback makes me think that's why he's looking elsewhere. But the fact that Cocaine Chung is tweeting out big things are happening makes me think David Andrews is waiting this out to see who's going to be quarterback for the Patriots. And if they get someone legitimate, I'd expect him back. If it's Cam Newton, I expect him to see in Miami. The other big one is, sorry to interrupt you, and you can go here. Lawrence Guy, J.C. Jackson is restricted. Expect him to get the tender there. And then I would expect James White to be gone. Stephon Gilmore, I wouldn't be shocked if Stephon Gilmore signed a little prove-it deal here. I wouldn't be shocked.
Coming off a nasty quad injury, you kind of heard with Gilmore that's kind of scaring teams off right now, and his trade value is a little low. I mean, you've mentioned before, third-round pick. At
Would you be surprised at all if Bill Belichick said to him, you know what, go put your feelers out there, see what people will pay you. We'll see if we can get a trade done for you. He goes out. Nobody wants to pay him. He comes back. Patriots say, look, we'll give you 11. We'll give you 11 to play here. And we'll let you get your career back on track.
Yeah. And
that's a very Patriot move right there.
No, absolutely. They do it all the time.
Yeah. Eagles just did it with Zach Ertz. They just gave him permission,
seek trade.
Why we're recording this show, to seek a trade. And more often than not, they're looking for big money there too. I mean, Eagles are on a rebuild. So back to the Patriots, I expect Lawrence Guy not to re-sign at this point. You just went outside 2 defensive linemen. You have Bo Allen, didn't play a snap last year. He's coming back.
Keep forgetting about Bo Allen.
I always do too until Bill brings him up.
He's coming back, hopefully healthy. I mean, he signed a 2-year deal last year at cheap money, like $7 million. So, I mean, you kind of short it up. I just don't think that you're going to spend money on Lawrence Guy. I think you can address that in the draft. Adam Butler, you forgot to mention him too. He's a kind of, I didn't
forget to mention him.
Oh yeah, but he's been rumored to get like $10 million a year. I expect him to go.
Peace, dude.
Bye-bye. I actually like Adam Butler. You saw
he was a bum. He had one good game last year. Yeah. He quit.
J.C. Jackson, I expect him to get the first-round tender at this point. I mean, he has to. He had 9 interceptions last year. Tied. I think he was tied for second or second outright in the league. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, David Andrews, I think Miami. I texted you guys earlier. Mike Lombardi said today, I think he was on McAfee today, and said the Hunter Henry signing probably means that, David Andrews is probably gone. But then that kind of contradicts what I told you guys earlier, where they said if they can absorb Deshaun Watson and then add some. So who knows? But don't forget, you got to keep some money for your draft picks. So you can't.
Not if you're trading the farm for fucking Deshaun Watson.
But if you
don't be surprised too. I expect guys to be moved. We saw Cannon get moved. N'Keal Harry has been rumored to get moved. I don't think that guys that are on this roster are necessarily going to stay. I think there's a lot of shuffling that's going to go on.
N'Keal Harry doesn't help your cap space this year, though. It only helps your cap space next year if he moves, because he's still got.
I don't think you have cap space issues this year.
No, yeah. I know, but you don't get. You're just dumping him, but you'll still take. I think it's like $3 million dead cap hit.
Yeah, but think about the air fryer that's going to be in the locker room once you trade N'Keal Harry.
I offered him up for a driver.
It's called morale. It's called morale, baby. Here's one on the David Andrews. While we're at it, we'll go late here. The Raiders just cut Rodney Hudson.
I saw that as well. That's what I was looking at when he's the center.
Pro Bowl center, 32 years old, at the end of his career, looking to win. $15 million dead cap hit for the Raiders. Talk about the cap is crap. Not if you're in Vegas. They're fucking struggling. He's a guy that might shift that center market. If you're in on centers, I mean, that might be a Patriot guy too, especially if Bill Belichick's pulling swings. Can anyone look up who his agent is? Is that a Rosenhaus guy? Expect him in New England if it is.
I saw a good thing on that too. It was like that's the reason these guys are coming here, because him and fucking Drew are butt buddies, and basically said like, hand gifted these guys. I mean, I think he signed 4 out of the 7 guys yesterday were Rosenhaus guys.
I have no. Geno Smith was the first guy that was signed by the Patriots, who's a Rosenhaus guy that set that, like you said, set that tight end market in a COVID market where everyone thought the deals were going to be down. Geno Smith has the 3rd highest tight end deal of all time.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Bill Belichick said, "Look, I'll get your tight end paid if you help me out with some other guys here."
I don't doubt it. I mean, you think Antonio Brown went there for what, $9 million guaranteed? Rosenhaus guy, Gronk's a Rosenhaus guy. There's been a lot of Rosenhaus guys, and they've been working together for like 30 fucking years. I just read a tweet earlier that said basically whatever Bill says, Rosenhaus will do. So if Bill says give me a hand job under the table, Rosenhaus is getting on his fucking.
You're all about fucking hand jobs.
Getting his oven mitts
ready. I love
hand
jobs. What's wrong with fucking hand job?
He's getting an oldie.
He likes the fucking eye contact and just.
I wouldn't give when and if I have to give Bill Belichick a hand job, there's no eye contact.
When we go on Rich's dinghy,
I will look at Linda.
Float it to Nantucket.
We'll navigate some of the strongest waterways in the Atlantic in my 14-foot fucking
dinghy.
John boat.
Hey, hold on. My grandmother's got a boat. Ooh, it's 24 feet. It could probably hit the whole. It could probably go.
Yeah,
in the
we can
water.
do that.
Go
Ray
I'd
will
rather
get us,
the dinghy's better.
Ray, get your fingerprint and your crayons. Draw a bill just with oven mitts jerking a dick off. We'll put it on a flag.
What was that movie with
Well,
John Cusack with the boombox outside that woman's house?
Infidel.
Dude, I will do that to
Infidelity,
Bill Belichick. I wanna give you a hand job, and I'll just fucking repeat it.
Last
over and
point
over.
on the NFL free agency came out today before the show. Matt Ryan restructured $20 million over 3 years. He's not available. Thank God. You guys wanted Matt Ryan here. No, thank you. All right.
Doing, yeah.
Any final thoughts on Patriots? Do you think we should expect? So Wednesday is the first day of actual free agency
Today.
where these deals can. Today is the first day of these deals can actually be signed and put through. Do you think that if the Patriots have one more big splash, it's quarterback, or do you think that they might have a couple? Is David Andrews a big splash if he comes back? Is there anybody? Is there Leonard Fournette? Not really,
No.
right? So the next
Chris
big
Carson,
splash
yeah.
would
Big
be a
splash is quarterback. Yep.
Has to be.
All right. Get your oven mitts ready, baby. All right, quickly. We got to do this all in like 5 minutes or less. Bruins lose again. They get shut out by the Penguins. Pretty terrible.
Bye butthole tattoo.
It's
They
4-1.
are-
Yeah, Grizzly scored it.
It's pool season. Tuukka
Sorry, I read that wrong. Sorry, what's that, Ray?
It's pool season. Tuukka Rask's head's not there.
Grass is out.
That's why it's pool season.
He is skating. He's close to coming back, but they're starting to back up tonight, which
Well, they got Vladar in tonight. Everyone wanted to see Swayman. They didn't decide to put Swayman in there. I don't know why. You're at a crossroads here in the Bruins season. You got Oscar Steen coming up. Who's another young kid in the Bruins
Good
system.
winger.
But here's the bottom line: you're not good enough. You're just flat out not good enough. And Joe Haggs had a piece today that said that they are desperate to make a major shakeup in the roster. He had another one that said they are very, very much in on Matthias Ekholm out of Nashville.
Beautiful pronunciation.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bill's shaking his head. Obviously, left shot defenseman. We think they should go winger, but hey, they got to do something. And this was the talk around Boston today. If it can, Brad Stevens and Sweeney take a look at old coach over there in Foxborough and learn something. Go fucking make a move. Make a move.
you got to. I think you need more of a forward than you need a defenseman right now. I know your defense is young, and you're desperate for less shot, but that's not your biggest problem right now, and it's scoring. Again, you're in the bottom half. You're in the bottom third of the league. You're 21st in total scoring. You're outside of the top 10 in power play. You need to add scoring. As far as the goalie change this night, I don't.
Before we go to the goalie, can I
Yep.
put one thing for you, Bill?
Sure.
If you get Ekholm, that was worst. Ekholm.
There you go.
Does that automatically make Zorbel, Lozan, Vakanainen, all of them available for a trade with DeBrusque and whoever else to go get you a winger? Can you
Yeah,
get on
it
a
does.
two-piece kind of move that they might be thinking about?
It does, but the problem with Lazone and Zorbel, they're on cheap deals under $1 million. Jake DeBrusque is what, the 3.4 million, 3.5, right around there. So I mean, Ekholm, what's it, 6 million, 6 and change? So I thought.
Less.
Oh no,
three.
It's
It's like 3.75.
Yeah, I was
Never
gonna
mind. Sorry, I was reading on someone else. That was Johnny Goudreau. Never mind. But yeah, Ekholm again. It would give you the flexibility. But the problem with the Ekholm trade right now is if he's a hot commodity, teams are buying. You know what I mean? The price is going to be high. I just don't think Sweeney has the balls to make the move to get a big piece. I don't think he has the balls to make a move to shake up this roster, and that's a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
Back to the goalie situation. I understand why they're not going to Swayman. He's only played 7 professional games. He's 7-0 with like a 1.5 goals against average. But again, Vladar has played a lot in Providence. Swayman's the future, but I mean, Vladar, as much as I fucking hate him starting, I mean, it's the right choice. Again, it's just the lack of professional playing time. He just came over from college, Swayman. So
All right.
he's your future. Don't ruin that confidence early.
Let's see how it goes. All right, Raymond, 30 seconds left. The Celtics beat the Rockets. They crushed them, actually, 134-107. If you watch the game, they came out like shit. But Marcus Smart off the bench and Time Lord off the bench had good games, brought a lot of energy. Last night, Tuesday, they lost to the Utah Jazz.
Oh, absolutely. Blown out.
Yeah.
Blown out, yeah.
Tristan
So-
Thompson didn't play.
Let's get right past that. Tristan Thompson is rumored to the Raptors for some reason. It's trade season in the NBA. Now the latest bullshit is John Collins Harrison Barnes and LaMarcus Aldridge are all rumored to the Boston Celtics. Quickly, one percentage. What's your bullshit percentage on this?
LaMarcus Aldridge is the biggest bullshitter out of all of them. John Collins, I see that they could make a trade for him. I think he would be willing to come here and play. And what was the last one you said?
Harrison Barnes.
Nope, he ain't coming here.
Yeah, I'm about a 96% bullshit on all these guys. The Celtics will not get any of them. They might make a minor deal. They might dump Tristan Thompson to get away. Dumping Tristan Thompson gets you off of that capped number on the salary.
Yep.
So then you can go out and use the full TPE. That might be what they're thinking. Like you said, Ray, it might fuck up their relationship with LeBron over there. But however, breaking news today, LeBron now owns the Boston Red Sox. So he's officially a Bostonian. He's in. Fuck Tristan Thompson. You're out.
I'm switching my allegiance full-time, 100%. Atlanta Braves. Red Sox, you're dead to me with that cunt as an owner.
Per the Boston Globe, James, along with his good friend and business partner, Maverick Carter, have joined the Fenway Sports Group as partners, making them part owners of the Boston Red Sox. They're also the first and only Black partners in the group's history. So,
PR, baby. That's PR.
I said the same thing. I texted
that
you.
might be. I have a different take. John Henry is selling this fucking shit off piece by piece. He's getting out. He's getting out and moving to Liverpool. That's the deal with that. So, hey, whatever. Fuck it. I don't hate LeBron like you guys do. Welcome to Boston, LeBron. Let us trade Tristan Thompson so we can use our big TPE that Danny's been gloating about. All right, we went late. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, March 17th. Keep your eyes open for Deshaun Watson and keep your eyes on us if that happens, because Bill's going to slap on himself a mitts and give Belichick an old-fashioned.
To completion.
It might take a while. All right, we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you're in Queens Landing, look for Bill at the Shaskeen tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Or today, 6 a.m.
Yeah, just listen for the screams.
Yep. Or just look for the Tinder Army.
They'll be carrying me down just Elm Street on my throne.
Oh, that's what time the parade starts at? 5:30, right before you get to the Shaskeen?
Yeah, I'll have my first Irish car bomb at 6:01 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh boy.
I just I have this vision now of Bill like just rolling down Elm Street and like these whitey tighties like Walter White in Breaking Bad. Just,
what happened?
Just F-bombing fucking Cinder horse.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, that's an image I have way too often.
Peace.